Hello dear 10th graders, and welcome to another video lesson. My name is Dr. Munca-Aftenev, and today we're going to talk about teens and social media. How many of you have an Instagram account? How many of you like TikTok? I'm pretty sure most of you. Teenagers nowadays are fascinated by technology, which is why today we're going to learn some really important words related to technology and social media use in general. Let's have a look at 3 quotes selected from a survey on how teenagers use social media and, most importantly, why they use social media. I feel that social media can make people my age feel less lonely or alone. It creates a space where you can interact with people, says a girl who is aged 15. It has given many kids my age an outlet to express their opinions and emotions and connect with people who feel the same way, says another girl who's also 15. We can connect easier with people from different places, and we're more likely to ask for help through social media, which can save people, says another teenager. So what do teenagers say about social media? This is a research done by Pew Research Center, and as you can see, teenagers find social media to be a very important part of their life. Now let's talk about some fun facts that I collected especially for you. Have a look at all these 8 celebrities. I'm sure you know all of them. What do you think they have in common? So we have Cristiano Ronaldo, Shakira, Mr. Bean, Rihanna, Will Smith. We have our favorite Harry Potter. What do they have in common? The answer is all of these celebrities have the most popular Facebook accounts on planet. They have the largest number of fans because they like to share important aspects of their lives or important events from their daily activities on their social media profiles. Now, did you know that Facebook adds 500,000 new users every day and 6 new profiles are created every second? 69% of all Americans are on Facebook and 74% of Facebook users check it every day. The average user spends 35 minutes on Facebook a day, the average user. So what do you think of all these numbers? How much time do you spend on your social network profiles? Do you think that's a lot or that's not enough? YouTube was the most used social media app among teens in 2019. Yes, that's correct. Not Facebook, not Instagram, but YouTube. Followed by Instagram, which is the second one, Snapchat, and this data is presented by Statista that organizes a lot of surveys on teens and the way they use social media. Now, let's talk about YouTube. 300 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. That's a lot of video content, believe me. People now watch 1 billion hours of YouTube videos every day. 1 billion, that's a huge number. The average person watches 40 minutes of YouTube content a day. 90% of American 18 to 24-year-olds use YouTube. That's a lot, 90%, that's almost everyone. And in 2014, the most searched term on YouTube was music. And by the way, the second was Minecraft. Go figure. Now let's have these 2 videos. I'm sure you recognize them. By the way, these are videos that are the most popular videos on YouTube. So we have Despacito and we have the Gangnam Style. Despacito has over 7 million views, I think, and Gangnam Style has over almost 4 million viewers. So billion views. So I read somewhere that when Gangnam Style published its video on YouTube, there were so many people watching it simultaneously that the counter of views at some point broke and the video was blocked, and the creators of YouTube had to actually restart the page, the platform, and find ways to fix this technical problem so that the counter doesn't break again. That's, I believe, impressive. But Despacito has more viewers now than that video. So these are the leaders on YouTube. What do you think is the key to their success stories? Why do you think so many people love their videos? Now let's talk about TikTok. That is very, very popular nowadays. TikTok became the fastest growing new app for American teens in 2019. 60% of TikTok users were aged 16 to 24, according to Business of Apps. But pay attention, many countries around the world don't like TikTok for the fact that the content that is being published there is not always secure. And this is why TikTok is not always recommended to teenagers or children. So if you like TikTok, pay attention to the quality of the videos that are posted on this network and make sure that you are not treated disrespectfully or you do not consume content that is not appropriate for you. Now let's talk about Instagram. Instagram isn't just the camera app that it was when it was launched back in 2010. Now it's one of the most popular social media platforms out there. Yes, Instagram is over 10 years old. Boasting more than 1 billion monthly active users, with more than 500 million of them using the platform every day, Instagram is more than a photo sharing platform and window into what's happening in the moment. Businesses pay money to Instagram users to get exposure to their audiences, hoping they can make money in the process by having that influencers, followers buy or recommend their products. The Instagram reach list for 2019 shows that the Kardashian-Jenner family still reigns supreme when it comes to what celebrity earns most per post on Instagram. Yes, I'm talking about making money using this social network. A lot of celebrities that you know have very active Instagram accounts, and so a lot of businesses around the world pay a lot of money to those celebrities so they can advertise or talk about the product that could be bought by the followers of these celebrities. Now, a few words that you need to know before we move on. To get exposure, the fact of an event or information being often discussed in newspapers and on the television. So a lot of companies like to advertise on social networks because this is the way for them to get exposure, which means to be in the public so that a lot of people learn about your products. The Kardashians and the Jenner family reign supreme. Reign supreme means is the best or is the most successful on Instagram, has the biggest number of followers. So all the celebrities that you can see on my slide are the top earners in 2019. They have made most money due to their Instagram accounts. First of all, because they have a lot of followers, and second, because a lot of companies and brands are using their profiles and they're paying these celebrities in order to present their products to the world out there. So you can recognize Demi Lovato, of course Beckham, and you can see Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. All these celebrities, they are very good business people and they can do that just by posting interesting content on their Instagram profiles. Now, the average 8 to 12-year-old American kid spent 4 hours and 44 minutes looking at screen each day in 2019. American teens ages 13 to 18 used entertainment screen media for an average of 7 hours and 22 minutes each day in 2019. So have a look at this data, all right? 44 minutes, right? 4 hours and 44 minutes each day in 2019, 8 to 12, and then 13 to 18, 7 hours per day spent on watching TikTok or YouTube or posting things on their Facebook or Instagram profiles. What do you think of that? 7 hours or 4 hours a day spent in front of the computer or looking at the screen. Is that a good thing? 1 in 3 children are cyberbullied, and 70% of children say they have been cyberbullied somewhere or someone online. It's becoming a growing problem with parents and children. However, many parents aren't even sure what is classified as cyberbullying or when cyberbullying crosses legal lines. My dear 10th graders, have you ever been a victim of cyberbullying? Have you ever received intimidated messages via Messenger or Viber or Instagram? That is an example of cyberbullying. And unfortunately, cyberbullying is very common among teenagers of your age. Why does this happen? Because there is little responsibility in the social media. Because if you write something mean to a person, you know that you won't be punished, which unfortunately encourages negative behavior. Only half of the parents of kids who are aged 5 to 15 use parental controls, other content filters or blockers. Of those who do not use the blockers, the number one reason cited is that they trust their kids' online behavior. Do you think parents should trust their kids, or do you think they should definitely select and block the sites that are not appropriate for their child and make sure their child is not exposed to inappropriate content? Violence, for example, vulgar language, a lot of crime that is exposed online, and so on and so forth. Now, let's have a look at the key vocabulary. Cyberbullying is a form of harassment using electronic forms of contact. Posting rumors about a person, yes. Threats, disclose victims' personal information, or hate speech. When you criticize something but you're very aggressive, that is called a hate speech. What is a parental control? These are features or software that allow you to monitor and restrict what the person does online. So many TV channels offer parental control, which means that you can monitor what your child is watching, and you can only allow your child to watch a number of channels that are safe and appropriate for your child, which I believe is a very good idea since I have 2 children of my own. Now let's talk about other important things related to your exposure when you have a social account. According to a study by Italian security researchers, 8% of Instagram accounts are fake. I'm sure you didn't know that, did you? This poses a risk and danger to teenagers from online catfishers. People behind the fake accounts can scam teens out of their money or even blackmail them, which is definitely a crime, and you should alert the police if you see that someone is trying to scam you out of money. A catfisher, by the way, is a person who creates a fake identity on a social network, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, usually with the intention of deceiving a specific victim. So yes, the catfishers are professionals. They know how social media works, and they know how to get to you, to teenagers or younger children who cannot tell apart someone who is a friend and someone who might treat them as a victim. 57% of all teens argue that using social media often distracts them when they should do their homework. 54% of teen social media users agree that it often distracts them when they should be paying attention to the people they are with. And 42% of teens argue that social media has taken away from time they could spend with friends in person. Personally, I definitely agree with these, let's say, conclusions. I'm sure that sometimes when we spend time with friends or family, we do not pay attention to them because we're too busy checking our Instagram profile, which means Instagram is taking precious time away from our interaction with the people who are close to us, parents, family, siblings, or friends. 25% of teens say it makes them feel less lonely, depressed, or anxious. 20% of teens says it makes them feel more confident and feel more better about themselves, the social networks. And 21% of teens, they say it makes them feel more popular, okay? So these are the explanations why social media is so popular, right? So one section, 1/4 says it makes them feel lonely, less lonely. 1/5 says that they feel better about themselves, and 1/5 says that they can feel more popular. How about you? What is your reason for having a profile on a social network? Why do you think your friends are on Instagram or on Facebook? According to Pew Research Center, YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat are the most popular online platforms among teens, just like you. Fully 95% of teens have access to a smartphone, and 45% say they are online almost constantly. Is that true about you? Are you online almost constantly? Until recently, Facebook has dominated the social media landscape among America's youth, but it is no longer the most popular online platform among teens, according to a new Research Center survey. Today, roughly half, which is 51% of US teens ages 13 to 17, say that they use Facebook, notably lower than the shares who use YouTube, Instagram, or Snapchat. So if you have a look at this graph, we can see that YouTube is the leader among social networks, followed by Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. So these are the numbers presented to us by Pew Research Center, and it's about American teens. How about Moldovan teenagers? If we organize a similar survey in our country, do you think YouTube would be the leading platform among Moldovan youth? Would it be followed by Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook? Don't forget, we also have other platforms such as Одноклассники, which was and is still very popular in the Republic of Moldova. But I know that in the last 2 years or so, Facebook is growing faster than Одноклассники. So, as you can see, there are different platforms that are being preferred by teenagers, depending on other factors, I assume. Smartphone ownership has become nearly a ubiquitous element of teen life. 95% of teens now report they have a smartphone or access to one, which is almost everyone. And these mobile connections are in turn fueling more persistent online activities. 45% of teens now say they are online on a near constant basis. Do you think that's a good thing or that's an alarming thing? Do you think teenagers should be connected online most of their time? Now, let's have a look at the key vocabulary in action. So, fuel. To fuel means to support, to stimulate, to inflame, or to encourage. Ubiquitous. This means being or seeming to be everywhere at the same time, omnipresent. So, social networking and teenagers who have active activities on social networks, they are ubiquitous, which means almost everywhere, omnipresent. The survey also finds there is no clear consensus among teens about the effects that social media has on the lives of young people today. Many teens describe that effect as mostly positive, mostly negative, 24%, but the largest share, which is 45%, says that effect has been neither positive nor negative. Right? So some teenagers believe that social media has a positive impact on their lives because they feel more confident or they're more popular or they're less lonely. But there are also teenagers who say that they spend too much time online and it might have a negative impact on them. Consensus, it means an opinion or positive opposition reached by a group as a whole, general agreement or accord. An extensive area visible to the eye is the landscape. Right? So consensus and landscape are our keywords. And at the end, I have a few intriguing questions for you. Which social network do you prefer? How much time do you spend online? Do your parents limit the time you spend online? Do you think social media has a negative or positive impact on teens? Please discuss these questions in class with your teacher or with your colleagues, preferably in English, of course. Now, let me test your knowledge on social media networks. So, which website is an American website and shares photos and videos and has 800 million users? Which one is also from the United States and is used by 2.2 billion users and it's used to express ideas, write to friends, share photos? We have a website that is Russian. We have one that was created in China, and we have another American website that is used by 336 million people to express ideas on short sentences. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to match the names of these websites and their description. Now, let's see if you are right. Instagram is the American platform used to share photos and videos that has 800 million users. Facebook is the American social platform used to express ideas, write to friends, share photos and videos, and has 2.2 billion users at the time when the survey was created. Vkontakte is a Russian social network, very popular in Moldova, by the way. It is used to write to friends, share photos, videos, and play games, and it has 97 million users. We have LinkedIn that I personally like because it's a professional network where people post their CVs and they can find very good jobs, by the way. So look for job opportunities, promote your professional skills. Qzone, I've never heard of Qzone, was created in China, and it is used to write blogs, send photos, listen to music, and watch videos. And the last one we should know about is Twitter. Twitter is an American social network used to express ideas in very short sentences. And as you know, for example, the former American president, Donald Trump, was very active on Twitter, and many called him a tweeting president. Isn't that interesting? All right, one more challenge for you. Again, a vocabulary challenge. So we have newsfeed, a hashtag, status update, and a thread. How would you define these words in English using English words? Because I'm sure you know what they mean. On your left side, you can see the definitions. Let's match them. I'm going to give you a few seconds. Ready? And the answers are: a sentence that a person writes publicly on Facebook is a status update. A word or phrase preceded by a hash mark used to denote the topic of a post is a hashtag. A sequence of comments which appear below an initial comment are called a thread. And the last one, a collection of discussions or headlines that are published for distribution to the general public are called newsfeed. Like Facebook, I love Facebook newsfeed. I don't need to check on any other website because all the news are on Facebook. They have an excellent newsfeed function. And the conclusion, my dear 10th graders. Student social media use and screen time has increased drastically in the last decade. Now, I will let you decide if that is a good or a bad thing. While the negative effects of social media on teens can be serious, it's impossible, unfortunately, for parents to keep their teens offline forever. I hope your parents trust you, and at the same time, I hope that you are keeping track of the time that you spend on your social network profiles. Instead, it's important for parents to help their student prepare for a life in the digital world. We live in times when social media presence is very important, and if we don't have a social profile, sometimes we might be cut out from the rest of us, which might be a problem. So, if you decide to create an account on a social network, please use it wisely to find out interesting information, to connect to other teenagers or other young adults of your age in order to share interesting ideas, books, ideas which movies to watch or which music to listen. So please use these social networks for good things, to communicate, to develop personally and academically. Why not? Because there are so many digital resources there for you, like our today's video lesson that we also post on YouTube. And make sure that you use social networks to your advantage and not to your disadvantage. Thank you for being with us today. I hope you enjoyed my lesson. Stay tuned. There will be many more exciting video lessons published in our digital library. Take care of yourself, manage the time you spend on social networks, and see you on Educatieonline.md. All the best.